think it is helpful for every person who wants to become a superhero to learn a little bit about plants, about foraging, and about the things that can kill you. Master Gardener Stacy Tornio now takes a look at those plants that can actually kill you if you're not careful. This book will offer up information to gardening enthusiasts of all levels about common plants that are toxic, poisonous, and even deadly. She is a journalist, a garden writer, and former editor of the national magazine Birds and Blooms, and she's the author of Plants You Can't Kill. She has a fascination with plants and people killing each other, I guess. I have some plants in here. The one that we're going to look at today is azaleas. You can find dozens upon dozens of azaleas, choose from both online and at your local garden center. They're some of the most popular shrubs for backyard gardens, Stacy writes, especially in warmer climates. Not everyone realizes it, but they are also known as rhododendrons, which relates to their botanical name. These plants produce beautiful spring flowers that come in a wide range of colors and shapes. Obviously, the green screen makes it a little bit difficult. Wow, I have a lot of plants in this book. If you haven't seen an azalea before, you should Google them. They're lovely plants, but don't let kids or pets eat the flowers, leaves, fruits, or seeds of this plant. All parts can cause problems, Stacy writes. Sometimes the flowers can be mistaken for honeysuckle. I don't know why you would. It looks quite different. Mild symptoms can include mouth irritation, nausea, and vomiting. However, large consumptions can be quite dangerous. This is one that you should just avoid planting if you have very curious kids or pets. Little bird, little bird. She likes to swing. Whee! I'm gonna hypnotize you with this bird. You are getting... Why don't you sit here? I don't want you to chew on this plant that for some reason I've been preserving in this book. Wow, I have put flowers in like every page. Why have I done that? Bleeding heart. This is a really pretty one. She writes, bleeding heart might be one of the cutest, most adorable flowers you can grow in the garden. In the spring, this plant produces tiny flowers that are shaped like hearts. They're truly one of the most unique blooms you can find in the plant world. Many gardeners like this one because it's an early bloomer and fairly easy to grow in the shade. However, it contains alkaloids which can be toxic to both pets and people. All parts of the plant can cause skin irritation, so you might want to handle with gloves while planting or transplanting. Oleander is one that Stacy recommends you should never plant it. This is what it looks like. Some of the toxic elements in it include cardiac glycosides, saponins, digitoxygenin, oleandrin, oleandroside, and nereoside. She doesn't say this here, but I can tell you as a physician, a cardiac glycoside or digitoxygenin, we use those as heart medicines, and so they can kill you. They're very, very, very powerful. They can cause your heart to go crazy, basically overstimulate and just die. So you could just die. She talks about vomiting, dizziness, vision problems, but the real thing to worry about with something that contains cardiac glycosides is it's just going to kill you. Home gardeners have been growing oleander for years. They love this small shrub for its beautiful blooms, Stacy writes. Plus, it's relatively easy and fast to grow. But consuming any part of this shrub, the leaves, bark, flowers, or sap, can result in death. Some areas of the country even consider it invasive, so this is one you should definitely plant at your own risk. It's also called rose bay. And again, this is what it looks like. It's a very pretty one. So that's 3 pink plants that you should avoid if you would like to not die. You shouldn't eat them. In order of seriousness, azaleas is least, by far the most dangerous one of the 3, is that pink oleander, because cardiac glycosides are no joke. That was our superhero tip from about plants. I mean, I hope that none of you have enemies, but it's good to think about what your enemies might do to you or feed you. You always see those videos where those imaginary stories where someone solves a crime because they knew what was growing in so-and-so's garden or whatever, right? But it is true, poisoning is one of the oldest ways for people to kill each other, especially people not in power, to kill people that they perceive as being in power. Yes, it is. These are very extreme examples, but we're trying to train for superhero skills here, right? You never know what's going to happen. And on the less extreme, it's good to know poisonous plants so that you don't plant the ones that, kids will put in their mouths and die. So, I think poisonous plants are a good skill to know.